I have no neutral thoughts. You have no neutral thoughts. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 16 of A Course in Miracles. This is such a wonderful time to be alive right here and now. We are in the moment, in the instant, and we don't really care about what happened back there in the past because it is no longer here and now. And whatever is going to come, let's forget about that right now because it all counts with what's happening now. What we do now with our thoughts is what causes what comes next to come next. So let's go ahead and really focus in this present moment for the time being together and live in the only time that there is, which is this instant. So today we are going to read lesson 16 of A Course in Miracles. So you already know what to do. Pull up to lesson 16. If you got the book, open it up. You know where to go. And if you don't got the book, go ahead and go in the description. There's a PDF version for you. Download that to your device and let's go ahead and begin. And before I read this, I just want to say from everything that I've read in A Course in Miracles so far, what this lesson is basically talking about, what we're going to dive deeper in today, is that you and me, we have no neutral thoughts. We are either thinking with God, we are either thinking love thoughts, we are either thinking thoughts of creation, or we are not thinking at all. We are merely hallucinating. We are thinking thoughts of worry, doubt, fear, anger, any forms of upset that may arise. And that is an illusion because you and me are love and light. We are children of God. We are extensions of pure positive source energy, which has no fear, no worry, no doubt at all. So whenever we feel any of those emotions, we are simply not thinking at all. We are hallucinating. We are thinking we're seeing something there that could attack something that is invulnerable to attack. So let's go ahead and dive into this right now, and see how it breaks this down even more clearly. Lesson 16. I have no neutral thoughts. The idea for today is a beginning step in dispelling the belief that your thoughts have no effect. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false. Those that are true create like their own likeness. Those that are false make theirs. Now, before we continue, the Course uses the two terms very intentionally: create and make. Whenever you create something, you are doing it out of your right mind. You are creating. You are creating out of love and light. This is you creating something out of the true nature of who you really are. Whenever you make something, you are making an image that is not there. You are making something because you are identifying yourself with the ego in that moment in time. So whenever you feel like you have something that's causing you trouble, you've made that image in your mind. You didn't create that because it does not exist. Only things that are created exist. What does not exist can never be created. Therefore, the Course uses the word make. There is no more self-contradictory concept than that of idle thoughts. What gives rise to the perception of a whole world can hardly be called idle. Every thought you have contributes to truth or to illusion. Either it extends the truth or it multiplies illusions. You can indeed multiply nothing, but you will not extend it by doing so. So, before I continue again, the Course also uses the two terms very intentionally, uses the words extend and project. So, you, again, are love and light. That is who you truly are. That is what God created, and that is who we are. So whenever we are thinking loving thoughts about ourselves or anyone or everything, we are extending, because you can only extend what you have, and you have love and light. That is all that you have. So whenever you are thinking in your right mind, you are extending that love. But whenever you are whenever you're identifying yourself with the ego, whenever you're thinking of the past or what you're fearful of that may come about in the future, or what somebody is saying that you are judging because they appear weird for that, or whatever's happening, you are projecting something that is not there. Because, like a projector, if I go to the movie theaters and I go try to scrape the screen, I'm not going to stop the movie from being played because there's a projector on the other side of the room that's projecting something that is not there. So love is all that is there. It's all that's here right now in this moment. So whenever we are perceiving anything other than love, just remember you're projecting an illusion onto this child of God who is also light that you cannot perceive in that moment. And even the opposite way as well. You are love and light. I am love and light. Every single person is, because we are all creations and extension of pure positive source energy, of God, of all that is, whatever you want to call it, but that is who me and you are. And whenever anybody looks at you and they're judging you because they think that you are not good enough, or they think you're weird because you prefer this over this, or they think whatever they think about you that has nothing to do with love, they are merely projecting their own fear that's within their mind onto you, so that way they could believe that they got rid of the fear that exists within them. It doesn't really exist within them, by the way, but because they perceive it does, they really think that there is insecurity within them, and the ego within them wants to remain alive, and it can't remain alive if that individual knows that they are love and light. So the ego makes it appear that the problem is you, so that way that person thinks that they're good and they got rid of the fear by projecting it on you. But now that's just such a fearful way of living life, because whenever you do that so many times throughout your life, projecting all of this guilt and judgment and fear on everybody and everything that you come across in your life, now you think the world is coming back to get you. You think that all of your projections are out to get you. So therefore, that person, we feel like we're living in a fearful world. We feel like we're living in a fearful universe, and we think that everyone who we've ever thought about in a wrong way is out to get us. And maybe we don't say those words that clearly. We may not even discuss this in our minds, but subconsciously that is what's going on. You have projected so much fear and judgment on everyone and everything in this world that you believe you live in a fearful world, when really you live in a perfectly safe universe. You are safe. Nothing can harm you. You cannot be harmed. You are invulnerable. You are literally light, and light cannot be diminished. So just keep that in mind. The difference between projecting and extending. You extend what you have, and you project what is not there. Besides your recognizing that thoughts are never idle, salvation requires that you also recognize that every thought you have brings either peace or war, either love or fear. A neutral result is impossible because a neutral thought is impossible. There is such a temptation to dismiss fear thoughts as unimportant, trivial, and not worth bothering about, that it is essential you recognize them all as equally destructive but equally unreal. We will practice this idea in many forms before you really understand it. In applying the idea for today, search your mind for a minute or so with eyes closed, and actively seek not to overlook any little thought that may tend to elude the search. This is quite difficult until you get used to it. You will find that it is still hard for you to not to make artificial distinctions. Every thought that occurs to you, regardless of the qualities that you assign to it, is a suitable subject for applying today's idea. In the practice periods, first repeat the idea to yourself, and then, as each one crosses your mind, hold it in awareness while you tell yourself, "This thought about blank is a neutral thought." Not a neutral thought, I apologize. This thought about blank is not a neutral thought. That thought about blank is not a neutral thought. As usual, Use today's idea whenever you are aware of a particular thought that arouses uneasiness. The following form is suggested for this purpose. This thought about blank is not a neutral thought because I have no neutral thoughts. 4 or 5 practice periods are recommended if you find them relatively effortless. If strain is experienced, 3 will be enough. The length of the exercise periods should also be reduced if there is discomfort. All right. This is a powerful lesson. Now, in a previous lesson, let's go back to it real quick. Let's see. 11, lesson 11. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. My thoughts do not mean anything. I see nothing as it is now. So all of this leads on to one another. The order in which these lessons were written, it all adds on to one another. So again, we see a meaningless world because the things of this world are neutral. This highlighter is neutral. Everything that you see is neutral, but your thoughts are not neutral. So you are projecting either positive or negative on this neutral item in this whole entire world. So I could look at any physical thing in this world, including this body, because this body is not who we are. Me and you are, again, and I cannot say it enough, love and light. And the largest part of us, we cannot see with these physical eyes, which is why you believe that I'm a body and I believe that you're a body, but we're really not. This is just clothing that we're wearing, this body, but it is not who we are. The body is in fact neutral, and our thoughts about the body are either positive or negative, and we're projecting or extending that positivity or negative on the neutral item at hand. So whatever you see, I'm going to use the mic for example. There's 2 different ways we could go about this. So let's just say let's just say we have 2 different people, artist A and artist B, okay? The first artist is an individual, and they make music, and they believe that they are not good enough. So whenever they look at the mic, they are projecting their fear about themselves onto the mic, so that way they believe, and they're doing this subconsciously, by the way, most of the time, but they believe that the fear is not within them. So they think that the mic it just reminds them of the fear that they believe exists within them, because they're projecting something that is not there, which is fear. And then artist B, let's just say they love their craft, and they make music, and they love everything they make because they do it for fun, and they're joyous while doing so. They enjoy doing what they do. That artist looks at the mic and they see it with love, and it arouses happiness, and they would just want to go hop on the mic. So they're extending that love on that item, because remember, the physical item at hand, which is the mic, is neutral. It is neither bad or good, big or small, this or that. It just is. It is just neutral. But our thoughts, remember, are not neutral, because you are a child of God. You are an extension of light. Therefore, if you see light in that mic, if you see and you feel the love coming from that mic, you are extending the love to this neutral item. Therefore, it's reflecting what you are giving to it. And if you are identifying yourself in any moment with the ego, and you think that fear exists, and you have those insecurities, and you look at that mic, and in that moment you feel uneasiness, that is because you are projecting something on that neutral item that is reflecting back to you what you are projecting. And this is happening all day, every day, and we are just unaware of it. But that is what's going on here, not just with the mic, but it's happening right now with whatever thoughts you are thinking about me, this body that you see, whatever thoughts you're thinking about these glasses, whatever thoughts you're thinking about everything that's around you in this world, your vehicle, your house, your bank account, your family, your friends, everybody and everything in this world, because it is a world of physicality, and everything's physical in it, and everything physical is neutral. You're projecting or extending your thoughts about that thing or person onto it. And this is a little advanced, but it's actually very simple. It just sounds advanced because the language that I'm using to convey the message, but in simplest terms, that is what's going on right now. Everything that you see, if you look at it, just know this. The simplest way I could put it right now in this moment in time is, if you see something, it could be a person, situation, circumstance, event, anything that you see with your physical eyes, and it is causing uneasiness, it is because of something you are doing internally. You are projecting that out there on that mirror, and it's reflecting back to what you have projected on it or extended. Remember, extension means you are giving what you have, which is light, because that is exactly what you are. So this is big. This is very big. I want you to understand the 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 magnificence of this, because this is how the change begins to happen in your world. Everything that you believe is fearful or out to get you, or you're scared to come about, or you are scared to put out in the open, or whatever it is that's going on in your private world up here in your thoughts, just know that all of that fear is not really there, and you're projecting something on that person or place or thing or idea or situation or event that is projecting and reflecting back to you what you gave to it first. I hope you just got that, because that was bars. That was that was the simplicity of how this world works. That's all it is. Everything you see is neutral, and everything that you see can be love and good. And if it's not that quite yet, which is most likely not for most of us. I mean, I fall asleep from time to time. Although I'm in this state of enlightenment more often than not, whenever I fall asleep and I'm believing that the illusions are real and I'm seeing fear in whatever I'm going through in my daily life, I snap out of it. I just become aware, snap out of it, and I'll wake back up. And it's that easy. It's just being aware. So anytime that you fall asleep, and I say fall asleep meaning that you are not in the real world, you aren't living in the past or the future, your mind is preoccupied with something other than what's happening now. The only thing that's happening now is love. That is all that could ever be happening. If I made a mistake right now, like let's just say this was given to me by somebody I loved so much in my life, and it was glass, and it was the most prized possession I own, and I dropped it and it cracked and shattered just now. New moment, it's done. That was the past because it happened a second ago. This moment, there is only love here. And now my mind is preoccupied with me dropping this prized possession, and it's cracked now and now and now and now. But it got destroyed in the past, but my mind is preoccupied with what happened in the past. Therefore, I'm keeping the past going in my mind, and that is not what's happening right now. There is only love here, always, in this moment. So whenever you find yourself asleep, wake up, become aware. And that's as easy. It's that easy. It's that easy. Being aware. Whenever you're not aware, that's when you believe that you are whatever you think you are other than love and light. You are love and light. And I can't say that enough, because the more you know that, you'll understand this body is not who I am. I don't need to perfect it. I don't need to make it appear shiny. I don't need to make it appear out there. I don't need to fix anything with this body, because there is nothing wrong with it. And because I think there's something wrong with it shows me that I am projecting my own lack and illusions onto this body, and it's reflecting back to me my thoughts about what I think about it. That is all that's happening in this world. It's so simple. And whenever you know that, you'll see this whole world is doing that. Everyone's projecting onto each other. They're thinking that they see something real. And then this is how arguments happen, and fights and wars and all of these unnecessary situations that could be avoided if everyone knew who they really were. So that's lesson 16 for you. I encourage you to read it again on your own time, because I know I could read a little bit fast sometimes, or I'd be stumbling on the words, but you can really fully grasp the concept if you take your time and read this patiently on your own time and do the exercises. But that's all I got for you today. Oh wow. Okay. My computer just totally went out. But that is all I got for you today. And I will catch you tomorrow for lesson 17.